You probably clicked this video because something feels off. Your team has grown, your headcount is up, but your results aren't growing at the same rate. And that's probably because you only looked at one type of recruitment, 360 recruitment. One person owning everything, maximum accountability, maximum productivity. And that model works perfectly in the beginning. But here's the actual truth. What makes 360 recruitment incredibly efficient early on is exactly what turns it into a highway to burnout and stagnation when you try to scale. In this video, I'll show you why 360 recruitment breaks at scale, what most agencies do wrong when growth slows, and how to turn 360 recruitment from a bootstrap technique into a team sport that scales. Let's start with what 360 recruitment really is in practice. 360 recruitment means handling the full recruitment schedule. From prospecting to administration, you have all the different hats that you have to wear in this one role. Early on, that's not a problem. It's actually an advantage. You move fast, there's no coordination overhead, decisions are instant. This is why almost every agency starts here. 360 recruitment is a bootstrap model. It's designed to get momentum quickly, and it works perfectly when volume is low and complexity is manageable. And then the company grows. More clients, more vacancies, more revenue. At that moment, your instinct kicks in. This works. Let's hire more 360 recruiters. So you do that, and on paper, it makes perfect sense. Same model, same expectations, same targets, same predictability. But something subtle starts to happen. The output doesn't scale. You are scaling the overlap. I worked at an agency that was trying to scale into a new market. Their strategy was simple. Mass outreach, massive volume. Candidates received a lot of messages, clients were approached very broadly, no real scope, no follow-up capacity. And when I asked them why they worked like that, the answer was, that's how we've always done it. It works, except it didn't. At least not in that market. Soon, trust eroded instantly. Effort canceled itself out. Everything felt busy, but nothing was moving forward. The issue wasn't effort. It wasn't talent. It was too many people fishing in the same pool, wearing the same hats, all doing everything poorly. And that becomes the first crack. 360 recruitment doesn't fail because people aren't good enough. It fails because the number of tasks per person explodes as you scale. The more vacancies you have, the more task switching you have to do. More clients means more contacts, more responsibility for your recruiters, and less focus. And the cost of hat switching doesn't show up immediately, but changing between different contacts takes at least 10 to 15 minutes to actually make the transition. So what's the consequence? Decisions slow down, the quality becomes inconsistent, profitability drops, and the burnout risk increases. What was once your growth engine quietly becomes your biggest bottleneck. I've seen this very clearly with a recruiter I was working with. She started as a consultant and then moved into sales. She was the best recruiter on her team. Her revenue was way above average. She was actually one of the best. The moment she stepped into sales, she was responsible for 360 recruitment. And at first, her results declined. Not because she lost any skills. And it was not a lack of motivation. It was because sales didn't replace her work. It stacked on top of it. More hats, more switching, less output. She went from top performer to average. And you would think, that's still good. But it was draining her mentally. And it was really hard to make that transition. And that shows what 360 recruitment does when you scale without redesign. When your highest earning recruiter goes back to average, you start to panic. The growth slows down. Your output becomes unpredictable. So what does management do? We'll set tighter KPIs. We'll give solo targets to everyone. We'll give more pressure to make sure that our targets are met. But KPIs don't fix broken design. They only tell you that the system you're using no longer makes sense. Solo targets in a shared market create internal competition instead of progress. And to prevent that, you need a different structure. Here's the uncomfortable step. If you want to scale, you need to stop hiring full 360 recruiters as your default role. And not because they're bad, definitely not, but every 360 recruiter is a new island you add to your business. It increases overlap. It intensifies the competition for the same team. And that's the reason why your profit stalls. The real shift for scaling is you stop optimizing for individuals and start designing for teams. And at this stage, things will get uncomfortable because strong 360 recruiters are used to have an end-to-end responsibility. They define their identity by owning everything. So when you start dividing responsibilities, some will resist, some will leave, and some will become the bottlenecks for change. And that's normal because change is hard for everyone. But if you want to scale, you need team players, not just superstars. And once responsibilities are shared, something powerful happens. You can design roles around people's strengths. Some people are exceptional at client connection, some are good at candidate engagement, others are great at process and continuity. So instead of giving every responsibility to one person doing everything, you build teams where ownership is shared, where mastery develops, and the focus increases. You can start to niche your teams by candidate type, role type, market segment, and I guarantee your positioning will change. Instead of, this is a profile we're also looking for, you can directly say, we have Denise in our company. Denise is the perfect person to find you this role. And that's how you build trust with your clients, because everybody wants a professional behind it. So when you make this shift, 3 things happen. 1, growth becomes scalable because output no longer depends on heroics. Roles become clear. People know where to improve and where they add value. And the organization gains overview. You can see what needs attention better and you see what needs scaling. So you're building trust by design and not trust by motivation. So in hindsight, 360 recruitment is not the problem. Treating it as a permanent solution is. It's a powerful bootstrap tactic, but growth requires evolution. If you want sustainable scale, you need to turn 360 recruitment from a solo grind into a team sport. And when you do that, results stabilize, focus returns, and growth becomes intentional. And that's how you move beyond burnout and into recruitment mastery. And you'll see that not only in your revenue, but also in your profits.